Gold FM is #1 here in Sigatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Lautoka.
Gold FM is #1 in Nel.
I love listening to Gold FM in Ba.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about Coca-Cola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Tonight, dengue fever prevalent among Itauke men. National Federation Party says it's lining up new candidates. And businesses did okay, says Commerce Commission. Welcome back. This is FBC News. We apologize for the earlier delays. This was due to a technical issue. Leading our bulletin tonight, the public is being urged to take heed of advice issued regarding the high number of dengue fever cases reported. The Central Division has the highest number, with 283 cases recorded between November 1st to December 30th, 2013. Chanel Sivan reports.
Itauke men make up the largest number of Fijians infected with dengue virus, currently being reported around the country. Acting National Advisor Communicable Diseases Dr. Mike Kama says initial data shows that the spreading is higher among Itauke men of working age. This is a new strain called Dengue 3.
The attack rate for the disease is quite high also and quite significant. So that is how the data stands, and Suva subdivision is more affected around Makoi and Vale Levu, and perhaps in Rewanga, and also in the Samambula area and up the Nuffield zone, health zone. So these are some of the areas that where cases are emerging from, new cases are emerging from.
While the Central Division continues to report highest number of cases, there are 36 in the Western Division and 11 in the Northern. Dr. Kama adds that people need to take basic safety precautions.
Try and avoid mosquito bites, and that comes through in two ways. Number one is avoid it through screening your homes, putting on air conditioners, putting on mosquito repellents, lighting up those fire coils only if they are safe. Using these electrical pellets, the ones that has anti-mosquito repellents, you can spray. Destroy breeding sites for mosquitoes. So the usual cleanup campaigns, we've been harping on these cleanup campaigns to individuals in the communities. They need to stand up and do the cleanup.
All open stagnant water should be drained as mosquitoes breed in these places, and it is also advisable to use mosquito repellent and mosquito nets. Health teams have been mobilized in the Central Division to ensure effective dengue response, which includes clinical intervention as well as public health measures. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
The National Federation Party is working on a strong lineup for this year's elections. Apisalome Doka takes a look at the oldest political party's preparations.
The National Federation Party will be fielding candidates for the elections, the 11th that will be held since independence in 1970.
We are conscious of the gender balance and geographical balance, so candidates have to be spread out in the country, and other considerations which are normally taken in selection of candidates. So as in the past, our candidate lineup will be pretty good, something like what we had in 1999.
As the party attempts to strategize for the elections, it is mindful that time is running out.
We are hampered in our work because the necessary laws have not been put in place, and necessary officers have not been appointed, you see. So our plea to the government would be that to expedite the promulgation of the electoral decree, appoint the electoral commission, which will make other rules in respect of the election itself, and also appoint the supervisor of election, who will be the overall person in charge looking after the election.
Singh says NFP will have a new look in time for the polls.
We are looking at a young faces rather, that will be contesting the election and taking us to the next election.
The party leader has called on its supporters to stand by them as they work towards contesting the September elections. Apisalome Doka, FBC News.
Market surveillance over the busy month of December showed that most supermarkets and retail outlets operated within the law. Commerce Commission Chair Dr. Mahendra Reddy says they were concerned about some issues, but overall businesses ran a clean ship. Ritika Pratap reports.
Officers from the Commerce Commission walked into shops randomly and checked prices on shelves against prices entered in the cash register. There were no problems identified here, but frozen foods were a different story.
From our visual inspection, it looked beyond consumption. So we had requested the supermarket manager that from our visual inspection, it doesn't look fit for consumption. He has an option whether he wants to take the product off the shelf, or we will take the product and undertake test in the lab. And the supermarket owner resorted to basically taking all those products off the shelf and agreed to dispose of.
Dr. Reddy says the team went down to various supermarkets in Suva, the Western and the Northern Division. Some supermarkets were given infringement notices and ordered to remove a large quantity of frozen goods.
My feeling is that, one, that these products were totally expired long back, and second was that they're playing around with freezer temperature, and therefore the products are deteriorating. So these things are totally unacceptable.
The Commission also kept an eye on last-minute price changes to ensure that retail outlets didn't mislead customers or issue deceptive advertisements.
What we were watching closely is that there's no deception or misleading advertisements, and that's what we were after, to ensure that they don't engage in misleading advertisements. And we are reasonably satisfied with the kinds of advertisements.
With back-to-school shopping to begin soon, Dr. Reddy has warned consumers not to follow others' lead and fall for impulsive buying. It's better to compare prices before buying. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Police and emergency rescue officers have recovered the body of a young man who jumped into a river after a road accident in Lambasa this afternoon. Eyewitnesses told FBC News the student was driving a car which went off the road and tumbled into a ditch. The teenager then got out, ran towards the Ngawa River and jumped in. An investigation is underway into the circumstances surrounding the accident and the death. Coming up, pedestrian deaths a big concern for the Fiji police force.
Today FM is #1 here in Singatoka.
We like Today FM in Lambasa. It rocks!
My favorite station in Nandi is Today FM.
Listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks in Suva.
Loto kasi di love today's kid music.
I love Today FM because they play all my songs.
We love Today FM at Vuniva Lambasa. Yeah, it rocks!
I love Today FM because it rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Nambula FM merkrake taletaki.
Golnga Lambasa, Mbula FM, number 2 na sere.
Ando talita kana borong ng Mbula FM, number 2 na sere su.
Kau buat itu gara-garaki, au rewat juga ni stima, au ando talita kana borong ng Mbula.
Bola Bina Fiji, Bola FM, number 2 Singatoka.
Bola Bina, Teran Roga, Bola FM, number 2 Tikonga.
Bola FM, number 2 na sere.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. 2013 saw the highest number of pedestrians killed in traffic accidents in the last decade. Epeli Tokuasa reports that of the 41 fatalities, 25 were pedestrians.
The Fiji Police Force wants pedestrians to take a good look at their behavior while on the road.
To analyze, critically analyze these pedestrian accidents. Again, it boils down to the attitude of our pedestrians together with the contributing towards our driver behavior.
SSP Misra says people should realize that there are also laws on how to behave on the roads.
As you know, the pedestrian law is in place, and it is, whilst we are doing all our best in creating awareness, one of the major challenges we are facing is the infrastructure in terms of how these pedestrians are utilizing the roads.
Last year, more than 73,000 drivers were booked and 45,000 of them were speeding.
of infringement that we have recorded, it shows clearly that it's a driver ignorance, and drivers are not taking heed of the road rules that either directly or indirectly connected with road accidents.
The force is encouraged, however, that the overall number of road accidents did decline in comparison to 2012. Epeli Tuguasa, FBC News.
Sports time now, and Jamie joins us now with the latest.
Good evening. Coming up, New Zealand-based under-20 rugger vies for spot in the Fiji Junior Rugby World Cup squad, and football's highest goal scorers of 2013 faced off today in a friendly, but neither of them found the net. Details after the break.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
और किसके सुनिए यार, हमारा एक सच्चा साथी है मिर्ची एफएम लंबा साके.
I love Mirchi FM. It's so hot. देखे में लाल लाल, खाए में हाय हाय. Tangi tauwa में Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singapore, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva. It's hot.
हम इंगिली लंबा सा में रहता है. तो क्या का बताइए हम मिर्ची एफएम सुनता है.
Mirchi FM, bon julum.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Ito Singapore kung tali ta na barong na radio Fijuan na station yang mo tuwa.
Ako na poro na tali ta. Mandau tali ta gini na barong radio Fijuan.
Kitongo isu untuk tali ta na barong na radio Fijuan station yang mo tuwa.
Kito tali ta na radio Fijuan. Na radio Fijuan endo tali ta kita nga Singapore.
Station in Matino Pinatia na radio Fijuan. Kompan Beyanyan.
Na Radio Fijuan nandumoy tinabonga ni BNN.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. One rugby hopeful is putting in the extra work to make the cut for the national under-20 squad to the Junior Rugby World Cup. New Zealand-based rugger Peter Wong is looking to carve a career out of rugby and expects a tough challenge for his favoured back row's position. Tsale Ndadakadaka reports.
This young rugger is holding nothing back as he aims to achieve his dream of representing the country. Fresh out of renowned New Zealand rugby nursery, Kelston Boys High School, Peter Wong credits the overseas exposure for bringing him this far.
It's good, different from Fiji, the way we play here. Very different and it's fast and competitive.
The 18-year-old is part of the talent identification process for the under-20 side and says the competition for places in the final team brings a tough edge to the trialists.
So just gotta have to do our best and everything and hope we get the position. Yeah.
Wong was among the young ruggers in the second talent identification process for the under-20 side today at the HPU gym in Suva. Tsalendo Dakadak, FBC Sports.
12-year-old chess sensation Menash Farid became the youngest player to join Fiji's top 10 chess players after being granted an official rating by the World Chess Federation. Farid recently competed in the World Youth Chess Championships in the United Arab Emirates alongside younger brother Mishan and female competitor Kabrina Terubia. Farid recorded impressive results in the competition with 2 wins and 2 draws in the under-14 category. The next international outing for our junior chess players will be the Chess Olympiad in Norway in August. The Fiji Chess Federation will select a male and female team at the end of this month to compete against players from 170 chess federations around the world. The National Youth Athletics Squad training for the Nanjing Youth Olympics in China will resume their preparations tomorrow at the NZ Stadium in Suva. The squad, made up of secondary school students, have been competing alongside senior and para-athletes in local competition. These local meets are held every 2 weeks by Athletics Fiji to keep athletes up to speed, and officials have so far been happy with their progress. They're expecting a bigger turnout for their regular competition, which will begin at 10 a.m. tomorrow after a 1-week break. That's it from the sports desk tonight. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Personal remittances up to October last year totaled $270 million. The Reserve Bank Economic Review states this is an increase of 6.9% from 2012. The RBF reveals that new lending by commercial banks saw a massive rise of 66% to sit at $1.31 billion up to the year ended November 2012. Despite this, liquidity in the banking system rose by $49 million to $728 million. However, exports fell by 7% due to a drop in the trade of gold, sugar, and some domestic exports. Foreign reserves at the end of December stood at $1.78 billion. Time for Friday's weather bulletin.
Bulla Jackie, now I said yesterday that the last working day of the week would be a wet one. Good news, from the looks of things, aside from afternoon thunderstorms in Lambasa, the only showers were in the capital and Savu-Savu. The West enjoyed fantastic conditions. They managed to miss out on all the rain and cloudiness. Today's highest and lowest temperatures remain the same, still on 33 and 32 degrees respectively. Everyone around me is either fanning themselves or nurturing the desire to sit in a tub of ice. Looking at tomorrow's weather, we'll be experiencing some showers over most places, as well as isolated afternoon thunderstorms in Lambasa. There's also a strong likelihood of rain and thunderstorms developing over the Lau group. Leaving you now with a great photo of Natandola Beach. It's a new year, so do send us some fresh new pictures to get our 2014 off to a good start. Have a lovely weekend. I'll see you Monday.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. The top stories again. Ithauke men of working age are leading the list of people infected with dengue fever around the major centres. National Federation Party preparing its lineup of candidates for the September polls. And Fiji Police Force says pedestrians need to wake up to the dangers of careless behaviour on the roads. To this week's poll question, we're asking, should we have late night shopping? Visit our FBC website to answer. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's all from me tonight. Rita joins you from tomorrow for the weekend news. I'll see you again on Monday. Until then, have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Bye for now.
Bato bahe, बामे रेडियो Fiji 2 के कौन सा के रोके ऑनलाइन क्लियर।
रेडियो Fiji 2 रकी के लोग ज्यादा सुनते हैं।
नैनी में हम सबकी पसंद रेडियो Fiji 2।
तालेबू के लोग रेडियो Fiji 2 सबसे ज्यादा सुन रहे हैं।
मेरी पसंद रेडियो Fiji 2, नसोरी में सभी को पसंद रेडियो Fiji 2।
टावा में रेडियो Fiji 2 सभी कोई सुनते हैं।
रेडियो Fiji 2 रॉक।
रेडियो Fiji 2 I love you।
देश की धड़कन रेडियो Fiji 2।